Hello everyone, it's Dan here from Thomas Road Support. In this video I'm just going to take you through how to use the custom blocks available within Creatink for WordPress. So as you can see when browsing the demo, we've got lots of nice blocks and areas for you to use. What we're going to do in this video is just show you how each of them work, just so you can get an idea of how it all goes together and how simple it is to use. So if we head to our admin, I've already created a fresh blank page. We're going to go ahead and pop in each of the custom blocks and just see how they all work, etc. So we're going to activate the backend editor, and I'll pop in a section and row. I'll just clone that so we've got one ready. So to begin with, we're going to add the blog feed. Just to give you a note, you'll notice you've got all the default options here, all the default blocks available within Visual Composer, above and below, but what we're going to be concentrating on here is the special blocks for our theme. So we'll start with the blog feed. Now you'll notice in its settings you've got a few options available. We can choose how many posts we want to display. We can select the various layouts. As you can see, we've got quite a few of them there to show. We're just going to select the grid with our sidebar for now. Hello everyone, it's Dan here from Thomas Road Support. In this video I'm just going to take you through all the various custom blocks we've added to Creatink for WordPress and just show you how they all work and how it all goes together. So as you can see in the demo, we've got loads of different elements and special blocks that we've added to Visual Composer, which makes everything a breeze to use. But we're just going to detail each of them and just show you how they all work, so you can get a general idea of how it all goes together. So in our admin, I've already created a fresh page to show you these. I'm going to start by adding a section and a row, and I'll just make a clone of this so I can keep repeating this as we go through. So to start with, we'll start at the very beginning of our custom blocks with the blog feed, and in its settings you can see we've got an area to show how many posts we wish to display, as well as the actual display type, the layout for the blog feed. And also you can choose a specific category to display in the feed if you wish. So I'm going to just quickly pick one of these at random, so we'll go with grid no sidebar. Let's hit save and update, and if we just refresh the page, there you go, you can see there we've got our feed as expected. Great. Now below this, I'll just make a clone, we'll move on to the next feed, which will be the client feed. Now that's simply an element which just displays the latest clients that you add to the custom post type available. Again, we've got an option there to show a certain amount of posts if we wish. If we have 10, we can choose to show 10. And we can also change the layout as well. So for instance, we'll start with the 6-column layout here, which if we refresh the page, you can see there we've got a nice layout there. Or we can switch it up and maybe have the carousel if you prefer, which you can see there. Perfect. Moving on, we've got the portfolio feed. Now this is simply a feed similar to the blog feed, which shows the portfolio items you've added. Again, you can choose to show a certain amount of items. You can choose one of the many layouts we've got here, as well as whether it's a lightbox style or not. You can choose the alignment for the filters, so whether you want them to be in the center or the left, and so on and so forth. And you can also choose a category. So let's go ahead and pop that in and take a look. There you go. You can see we've got our 6 items in the masonry lightbox style. We've got our our filters displayed in the center. But if we wanted to, we could show maybe 9 items in a justified grid, and we can align the filters to the left if we prefer. I should say that the filters do only apply to certain grids, so that was a bit stupid of me there. So if we go back to the masonry grid there, which is filterable, you'll see the filters there all aligned perfectly. Great. Okay, let's move on. We'll add a section and a row. And the next block is the team feed. Again, very similar to the client feed, it just shows the recent team members you've added, and you've got several layouts to choose from there as well. We can choose how many team members we wish to display, as well as a category. So let's save that. And there you go, you can see we've got our recent 4 members as we wanted. And let's move on. Next up, we've got the testimonial feed, and that's very simply a recent area, an area where you can show the recent testimonials which you've added here. And again, you've got several layouts. We'll choose the slider because that's quite nice, and you can also choose a specific category if you wish, which you can see there. Next up, we've got the product feed, which if you're using the WooCommerce plugin as your shop, you can show recent items that you've added in various layouts. We'll choose a nice carousel there. As you can see. Next up, we've got the Accordion, which is a very popular type of item. We've got different types. I like the line slider, so the line style. And once you've added the accordion, you can add various sections within that. So let's add a title as we want. Let's call this just number 1, and here where we can pop in our content, we can either place an image, text, etc, etc. I think for the sake of this I'll just choose some random blurb. I'm going to have several columns, so I'll just clone one here. And then the last one I'll pop in an image. And there you go, you can see we've got our line style just as we wanted. But if we wanted to maybe change that up a little, so I'll just split this into 2 columns, clone the accordion we've already made. And we'll just alter its settings to be the border style instead. And where you can choose to have the first item open by default, we'll set that to no. And you can see there we've got a completely different layout for our accordions as well. Very easy to use and looks great, as I'm sure you'll agree. Okay, moving on. Next up, we've got the alert bar. Just a nice way to grab people's attention. Again, I'll just pop in some random blurb. Ideally, you'd probably want to put something a little bit more focused in there, but I'll just show you this for the sake of the demonstration here. So as you can see, you can use this to really grab people's attention if you wanted to. Maybe let them know of a certain offer or something if you've got one available. Next up, we've got the animated text, which is quite popular. The way this works, you can choose obviously the display type. We'll go with medium. You place the intro text, which is the text you want to kind of have as a precursor. So I'll put hello, my. Oops, easy if I can type. Now here below that, we can put in the text to animate. Now it's 1 line per animation, so I've got obviously my intro text is hello, my name is. refresh and just take a look, you can see how that all breaks down. So you can see there I've got the intro text, and then for each line we've got a nice animation there. And we can of course go ahead and make that bigger or smaller just via the options we provided here. Very, very easy. Okay, so that's the animated text. Now this video is getting on a little bit, so I'm going to split this up into two parts. Join me in a moment to go through the rest of the blocks that are available. If you do have any more questions on what we've covered so far, do let me know.